Margaret Annis Boys Arboretum at Will Rogers Park in Oklahoma City. And joining me today is Brian Doherty. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting us.
You are with the Oklahoma City Community Foundation,
Correct.
the Parks and Public Spaces Initiative.
That's correct.
And Brian, we're here to talk about the new iTree initiative that is happening around Oklahoma City. Can you kind of tell us about how the foundation has become involved in this?
You know, the foundation's been involved with trees and tree plantings in parks and public space for over 25 years. Ms. Boys left a large part of her estate for the beautification of public grounds in Oklahoma City. I came in about 20 years ago, and as a horticulturalist and landscape architect, it was about how do we set these projects up for success? How can we do them sustainable? So we've done many things with different parks, different public space, different school parks. But this was an opportunity. We did a parks master plan about 5 years ago, and we identified the value of trees was all off the chart, the value of neighborhood parks. So this was an opportunity for us to turn around and to really inventory all those parks in Oklahoma City and really see how we can turn around what were the species, what were the values, how we could do it, how we could not only analyze what's been, we could look into the future.
So people want trees in their parks, but you never had a good way of creating a database as to what trees are in what parks and where you might need to plant more trees.
That's right.
This database will now allow you to do that.
This database is incredible, and we probably couldn't have done this 5 years ago. Technology has brought it with Google Earth, with everything, where you can really do things. But we'll be able to actually sit down with the Parks Department and really strategically plan out where trees might be going, what species of trees, what the value would be. So there's just tremendous value to something like this. And we had opportunity, and so we are giving as a gift to Oklahoma City a $95,000 product, and then Department of Forestry has joined in with us to even bring it to the next layer. So they've put another 20-some thousand into it, and we really have a product that in about 4 months have something that will be beneficial on planning maintenance, on planning proactive tree planting, on looking back on what has been done, and really assessing, heaven forbid, but when you have storms, you'll be able to kind of predict and make some assessments on what cleanup might take and all by using some of the modeling tools.
And you're just starting this, you're kicking off it here at Will Rogers at the Margaret Annis Boys Arboretum?
Right, you know, it's one of the 4 cornerstone parks, so it had a big collection, and Henry Walters had the Arboretum here years ago, so we thought starting here would give a real good place for the Davey Tree Company to be able to come in and to look at the different types of trees and to see, and then it will go on to the 153 other parks in the city.
Wow, that's a lot of trees. Thank you, Brian. And now we're going to go take a look and see how this information is going to be used. Mark Bays, you are with the Oklahoma Forestry Services, and you are an urban forester.
Yep.
And so here we have this information that's being collected. What all are they doing?
Have you ever been to the doctor and had the most detailed inspection of everything from top to bottom? Well, that's what they're doing here for all the trees in all the city parks across Oklahoma City. And it's just an amazing project. It's never been done at this size, at this level ever in Oklahoma.
Wow, okay. And in fact, Stillwater did campus recently.
Yeah,
so
Stillwater has used some of this technology to do a lot of the trees on campus with one of the clubs so yeah.
Very good. So what does this data mean to you as a forester? How are you going to be able to utilize this information?
Man, it's beyond beautification. I mean, trees are always...
We all know trees are pretty,
they're
right?
cool and pretty, and it's nice
and
to
nice shade, yeah.
But one of the great things about this is when you go out and collect this level of information about the trees, then you can come up with all the environmental services that those trees are providing, way beyond beautification. You can get air quality improvements by having trees. You can get water quality improvements, stormwater runoff. Trees absorb air particulates, and so they can reduce coughing and really improve the air when you think about asthma. Of course, they always produce oxygen, they take out sulfur out of the air and everything. And so what we're going to be able to do with all this information is we're going to be able to run some of the most recent formulas and algorithms on all these environmental services that trees are providing.
So we think about the value of a tree, but there truly is a value in each tree other than just the prettiness of it.
That's right, absolutely. We tend to call them that green infrastructure of a city. It's not the gray infrastructure, it's the green infrastructure that's so critical to making cities livable.
And so how does this affect, we've heard about Dutch elm disease that might spread through, and how do you utilize this information when you're looking at the species species that you will select for replanting, and also if you lose trees.
Well, what you'll get is you'll get a species diversity, and so that'll tell you if you have more than one kind of tree in a population, if you need to plant other trees of other, and you'll be able to see, you know, the kinds of trees and their overall health and condition. And so what the city of Oklahoma City will be able to do then is they'll be able to use this to actually care for and properly manage the trees that they have on the public grounds, because, you know, everywhere you go in parks, you want to make sure that they're very safe. And so that's one of the things that they're going to be able to do, is use this to make sure that those parks are much safer for
They're
us.
actually rating each tree
Yes.
as to the condition of it.
A condition
and stuff.
class and everything in that. And so if there's any particular maintenance needs that those trees might have, a light pruning or something, Davey Resources actually already identified a couple trees that probably should come out pretty soon. So, you know, the overall risk of just walking through the parks here in Oklahoma City, that
Will
it's
be
being
better.
reduced. It's much better.
That's excellent. And if we have a natural disaster, an ice storm,
Yeah.
a tornado or something like that, we'll also know the value of trees that we lost
Right.
too.
And this whole iTree, it's this program that's free of charge. Anybody can go out and do it. And there's all different scenarios with it. I used iTree Canopy to help us determine how much tree canopy that we lost in the 2013 tornado that came through May. I did a before and after scenario, and they had lost 25% of the tree cover in that area. And
Down in Moore.
Down in Moore.
Yeah.
And so they're working hard to replace that.
Okay, excellent. So if I'm a homeowner and I have a tree in my front yard,
Yeah.
I'm not a part of the city parks,
Right.
but I want to know the value of my tree. Is there a way to utilize this software also?
Yes, there is. There's a way that you can go on this iTree software. It's called iTree Design.
Okay.
And you go on that website and you'll see iTree Design come up. You can actually draw a print of your house. They use Google imaging, recent Google imaging, and so you can draw up your address on that site. You'll see your house come up, and you can actually draw a footprint of your house. And then you can help, if you want to plant a tree, you have a whole list of trees to plant, and you can choose from that, and it'll show you the best place to plant that tree to give you the best benefits. And when you're thinking about air quality, if you're thinking about energy reduction, so if you want a big shade tree, it'll actually show you where to plant that on your house. If you have other trees of different sizes, you can actually plug on that tree and you'll be able to tell just how much environmental services you're getting from those trees too. So it's really cool. So now anybody can go out and learn, you know, just how much more than beautification that the trees on their houses are providing.
We're finally being able to quantify the value of a tree.
Right,
Thank
exactly.
you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.